Hey there and welcome to Scandal Steep. In the entertainment world, many celebrities have been outspoken about the darker, more toxic side of Hollywood, including Dave Chappelle, Ice Cube, and Monique. These figures have courageously shed light on the industry's corrupt practices and the ways they attempt to control their stars. Dave Chappelle, in particular, has been vocal about his experiences with the industry's exploitative nature, and his famous departure to Africa is often cited as a result of the pressures he faced. The more he revealed, the more it became clear that the story behind his exit was not just a matter of personal dissatisfaction but a struggle against the very people he once trusted, including media mogul Oprah Winfrey. The infamous interview between Dave Chappelle and Oprah should have been a moment of transparency and understanding. Instead, it turned into a tense exchange, one that many now view as a critical turning point in Dave's career. In the interview, Dave bravely opened up about the pressures he was under, the mental toll of Hollywood, and the strange and disturbing way in which the industry tried to manipulate him. But Oprah's response wasn't one of empathy, rather, it was one of disbelief. Instead of supporting him, she insinuated that perhaps Dave was crazy or unstable for even thinking about stepping away from the spotlight. This dismissive response, many believe, was part of a larger pattern of gaslighting that stars like Dave experience when they attempt to speak out against the industry's darker side. Dave's recounting of the pressure he faced, including attempts to sedate him and convince him he was mentally unstable, was met with little sympathy from Oprah. At one point, Oprah suggested he might be crazy or stressed, a subtle but powerful way to invalidate his experiences. This interaction struck a nerve with many, as it wasn't just a case of a celebrity struggling with fame but rather a situation where the very people who are supposed to be allies seemed complicit in a system of manipulation. Dave explained that the entire time he was being convinced he was losing his mind, the people around him were the ones who were actually trying to control him. He described how Hollywood insiders tried to get him to take medication to calm down, as if his refusal to conform was proof of his insanity. This constant undermining of his experiences pushed him further away from the industry he had once been a part of. In reflecting on his experiences, Dave highlighted the dangers of Hollywood's control over its stars. He talked about how, in California, there's a legal mechanism called a 5150 law that allows authorities to commit someone to a psychiatric facility if they are deemed a danger to themselves or others. Many believe that Hollywood uses this law to control stars who threaten to speak out or refuse to play by the industry's rules. While Dave didn't go so far as to claim that this was the cause of his own struggles, he pointed out the strange coincidence of how many celebrities, particularly those who are black, have been subjected to 5150 holds after speaking out or stepping outside of Hollywood's norms. Celebrities like Kanye West and Britney Spears are often cited as examples of this phenomenon, where their public breakdowns are linked to attempts to suppress them. For Dave, it wasn't just the pressures of fame that pushed him to leave. It was also the realization that Hollywood had long been a place that used and discarded people, particularly people of color. He and other prominent black entertainers, like Cat Williams, have spoken about how Hollywood often places black men in demeaning roles. Dave particularly pointed to the industry's tendency to put black men in dresses or overly feminized roles for comedic effect. While some may view this as harmless humor, Dave sees it as a deeper issue of subjugation and humiliation. He recalls a specific incident when he was asked to wear a dress in a movie scene. Despite being told it was part of the comedic routine, Dave refused, sensing that this was more than just a funny costume. He didn't want to participate in something that he felt perpetuated harmful stereotypes about black men. This moment was just one of many instances where Dave felt the industry tried to break him down. But he wasn't the only one to face such pressures. Many comedians and actors have shared similar stories of Hollywood trying to mold them into something they weren't, often using the guise of humor or art to disguise the underlying exploitation. Dave's refusal to participate in this type of comedy, where black men were often depicted in emasculating and degrading ways, was a stand against a system that he felt was pushing harmful narratives about black identity. Dave's departure to Africa was not just a physical escape but a spiritual one. The death of his father marked a critical point in his life. He described how his father's passing forced him to reflect on his life, his career, and the truth about Hollywood. Losing his father made Dave see through the illusions of fame. The industry, which once seemed so alluring, was revealed to be a place that thrived on lies, manipulation, and pressure. He realized that he had been living in a system that only cared about profits, not about the well-being of its stars. This moment of clarity led him to walk away from everything, retreating to Africa to rediscover himself and reconnect with what truly mattered in life. Dave wasn't alone in his critiques of Hollywood. Ice Cube, another icon in the entertainment industry, has also spoken out about the systemic exploitation of black artists in Hollywood. Like Dave, Ice Cube has faced backlash for calling out the industry's harmful practices. Both men have been blacklisted by the very system they helped build, as Hollywood retaliates against those who dare to challenge the status quo. One of the most telling aspects of Dave's story is his strained relationship with Oprah, a woman who, on the surface, seems like an ally to many in the industry. Oprah's immense influence in Hollywood and the media has long been a source of power. However, as Dave and others have pointed out, Oprah's role in the industry is complicated. Despite her success and the image she has cultivated as a voice for the oppressed, some believe that she has been complicit in perpetuating the very systems of control and exploitation that she claims to stand against. Dave's exclusion from Oprah's show and the subsequent treatment he received from her have led many to question her true motivations. Oprah's seemingly dismissive attitude toward Dave's struggles with Hollywood and her involvement in promoting the image of him as crazy have cast a long shadow over her legacy. The divide between Dave Chappelle and Oprah highlights the tension that exists within Hollywood between the public personas of its stars and the hidden forces that control them. For years, Oprah has been a beloved figure, admired for her compassion and her influence in shaping popular culture. But as more and more celebrities speak out about their experiences, especially those who have faced the darker side of fame, the public's perception of figures like Oprah has begun to shift. Dave Chappelle's story, along with the stories of others like Ice Cube and Monique, has caused many to question the role that media moguls like Oprah play in the industry's toxic cycle. What stands out in Dave's story is his resilience. Despite facing enormous pressure, public ridicule, and attempts to break him down, he refused to give in to the system. His journey is a testament to the power of self-reflection and the courage it takes to stand up against an industry that thrives on control. For Dave, leaving Hollywood was not a sign of weakness but an act of strength, a reclaiming of his identity and his sense of purpose. He continues to be a voice for those who feel silenced, encouraging others to recognize the destructive forces at play within the entertainment industry and to fight for their own truth.